When Elon Musk stepped onto the stage that evening, something was different. The applause felt routine at first, the way it always does when a world-famous figure walks into the spotlight, but almost immediately, the energy in the room shifted. People sensed it before they understood it. Musk wasn't smiling in the same familiar way. He wasn't holding the posture of a man about to pitch a new product or unveil the latest upgrade to his rockets. There was a tension in the air as if he was carrying something far heavier than his usual announcements. For years, audiences had grown accustomed to his updates. Launch windows for SpaceX, progress on Tesla's newest models, bold predictions about artificial intelligence. But this time, the atmosphere didn't feel like progress. It felt like revelation. And when he began to speak, it became clear why. He wasn't here to talk about a car. He wasn't here to talk about Mars. He was here to talk about the 3i Atlas. The name itself was strange, almost poetic, and immediately set imaginations racing. And the way Musk described it was even stranger. He didn't launch into technical jargon or rattled off numbers. His tone was deliberate, careful, almost reverent. He spoke not as an engineer presenting a project, but as a witness describing something beyond comprehension. And then, in the middle of his explanation, came the words that would send shockwaves across the globe. Musk suggested that the 3i Atlas might not just be a wandering object from deep space, but potentially an alien spacecraft. The silence that followed was profound. Entire rows of people leaned forward without realizing it, their bodies pulled by the gravity of the statement. Some looked stunned, others skeptical. But no one, not a single person, dismissed it outright in that moment, because this wasn't a rumor leaking from some anonymous insider. It wasn't a blurry photo splashed across a tabloid. This was Elon Musk, on stage, publicly on camera, uttering those words. The weight of it landed instantly. So what exactly was the 3i Atlas? Astronomers had already noticed it long before Musk's announcement. It had been catalogued as an unidentified interstellar object. At first, it was assumed to be another asteroid, maybe a comet, just one more celestial rock drifting through the void. But Musk explained why it didn't fit those categories. Its path was wrong. Unlike asteroids that follow predictable arcs or comets that curve under the sun's influence, the Atlas didn't behave like it should. It cut through space in ways that defied expectations, shifting course in subtle but deliberate ways. The kind of precision that nature doesn't usually produce, and it wasn't just the trajectory. The object's surface reflected light strangely. Instruments designed to detect the chemical makeup of cosmic debris returned puzzling results. One moment it seemed metallic. Another moment it registered as something else entirely. Sometimes the data even contradicted itself, as if the sensors were confused by what they were seeing. The conclusion? It didn't behave like any natural object we had ever studied. Then Musk added the detail that electrified the conversation even further. He said the Atlas appeared to respond, to adjust itself, as though it wasn't just drifting aimlessly, but navigating. The implication was staggering. Was it truly under control? Was this object guided by intelligence? Skeptics, of course, raised objections. Could it be outgassing, like a comet shedding ice and dust, giving the illusion of propulsion? Could solar radiation be nudging it in ways we didn't fully understand? These explanations surfaced quickly, but Musk insisted the adjustments were too deliberate, too precise to be dismissed as coincidence. And that was enough to capture the imagination of millions, because Musk is not a man known for wild speculation. He's a builder, a problem solver, someone whose reputation is built on delivering results in the harsh, unforgiving environment of physics and engineering. If he was willing to stand on stage and suggest the Atlas might be alien, then at the very least, he believed the evidence demanded the question, and that question changed everything. Around the world, reactions flared. News outlets scrambled to cover it. Social media erupted with theories, debates, and of course humor. But beneath the memes was genuine awe. Suddenly, people everywhere were talking about the Atlas, drawing sketches of what it might look like, speculating on its origin, imagining who or what might have created it. Scientists were jolted into action. Observatories trained their instruments on the object. Astrophysicists recalculated its trajectory, its speed, its acceleration, again and again. Some argued it was simply another interstellar visitor, like Oumuamua before it. But others pointed out the key difference. Oumuamua drifted ambiguously. The atlas seemed purposeful. Governments, too, scrambled behind the scenes. Musk's words weren't whispered in classified briefings, they were broadcast to the entire world. And that meant every nation now had to reckon with the possibility. Military satellites were redirected. Intelligence agencies convened emergency meetings. Was the atlas a probe? Was it a relic? Was it watching us as we watched it? No one knew. And the uncertainty was more unsettling than confirmation. In Washington, the Pentagon demanded data. In Beijing, top officials convened astronomers and generals. In Moscow, the possibility of alien technology was seen as both a threat and an opportunity. The atlas became not just a scientific enigma, but a geopolitical one. Nations that rarely cooperated suddenly shared a common obsession. The global stage began to feel like the early days of the space race, but this time the prize wasn't just reaching the moon. The prize was contact. Meanwhile, Musk revealed that SpaceX and its partners were tracking the atlas in real time. Telescopes locked onto it. Radar scanned its contours. Engineers brainstormed ways to intercept it, if it lingered long enough within range. The logistics were daunting, but for the first time in human history, the idea of directly studying something potentially alien wasn't fantasy. It was a possibility. The name 3i Atlas itself seemed to capture the imagination. Musk admitted its origin was mysterious, but pointed out how names often arrive before understanding. Just as ancient navigators once charted unknown stars, perhaps we had labeled something that might later redefine humanity's place in the cosmos. And if the atlas truly was alien, the implications were staggering. Religion, philosophy, politics, culture, everything would be reshaped. Some faith leaders saw it as confirmation of divine creation, proof that life beyond Earth was part of a larger design. Others braced for disruption, fearing cherished beliefs might collapse. Philosophers debated whether alien life diminished humanity's significance or elevated it, making us part of something greater. But perhaps the most profound reaction came not from governments or philosophers, but from ordinary people. Children began asking teachers if aliens were watching us. Retirees looked at the night sky with wonder they hadn't felt since childhood. Students in physics and engineering suddenly felt their fields infused with urgency, as if they were living on the edge of history. And yet, through it all, Musk remained cautious. He didn't declare certainty. He didn't shout absolutes. Instead, he left the question open, balanced between science and speculation. And that openness was what made it so powerful. The unknown is what drives human imagination. The unknown is what keeps us searching. But there was urgency. Objects like this don't linger. They pass through. They move on. The cosmos runs on its own timetable. If humanity wanted answers, we had to act fast. That ticking clock gave Musk's words the pacing of a thriller, an unfolding story happening in real time. The atlas wasn't just an object. It had become a mirror, reflecting our hopes, fears, and deepest questions. It forced us to confront the possibility that intelligence beyond Earth wasn't just theory, but reality. And the revelation didn't close the mystery. It cracked open a door, one that may never fully shut again. Because if Musk was right, even partly right, then the 3i Atlas isn't just passing through space, it's passing through history.